I'm here with Katie and Jeremy, two Southern California swingers, and they've graciously agreed to talk to me about their swing lifestyle. Thank you so much for taking the time today. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome to be here.
Fantastic. Okay, so the deal is you and Jeremy have been married for 15 years now.
Correct.
Okay, and you started swinging about 2.5 years?
Yep.
How's that go? How has that experience been for you?
It's been good and bad, more good than bad. We've had some great experiences and have met some great people. So.
Great. Okay, and so you're still going strong. This isn't something you're going to stop anytime soon.
I don't think so. We have both enjoyed it. So no, I think this is something we'll continue to do for quite a while.
Okay, so walk me through it. How did it first come up? If you've been married 15 years, that's 12 and a half years, no swinging, and then monogamous, and then you start swinging. How does that go about? Whose idea was it?
Well, whose idea was it? It was definitely, Jeremy was the one who definitely brought it up to me. But he brought it up to me not for himself, but for me. He has always known that I have had an interest in girls and that I am bisexual, and I've never actually had the chance to experience that. So he presented it to me that we're not getting any younger, and that if we're going to try to do something, we need to try now, and that he wanted me to experience that part of my life and that side of me, I should say. So we got started with me experiencing other women.
Oh, really? Okay. So basically, through conversations, you communicate to him, you know what, I'm interested in women. I'm attracted to women. He provided an opportunity for you to experience that.
Yes.
Okay. Now, most Americans don't swing, as you know, and they don't consider it socially acceptable. What makes you and Jeremy different?
That one, we definitely have had plenty of conversations about it and our feelings about it. I guess it depends on the reason you're swinging. Some people swing, I think, because they're lacking something in their marriage. That is definitely not the case with us. We have a great sex life. We have a great relationship. And if anything, the swing has brought us closer together.
Really?
We've been able to share experiences and fantasies and thoughts that we could have just never shared before.
So now, does this replace your sex life with Jeremy, or does this augment your sex life?
No, it absolutely does not replace anything. It enhances it. It makes it more exciting, and the times that we are together, just the two of us, it just makes it that much more special, and we're just that much closer for it.
Okay, great. Okay, so now, you and your significant other, Jeremy, have a date with another couple. Describe the scene for me. How does it come about in the first place? And what's the process? How do you meet them? All the way till you're knocking on the door or they're knocking on your door.
Right. There's a couple different ways. We've gone to house parties where we've met people, and then, you have dinner later to follow up and get to know them. Or there's websites designed specifically to meet other like-minded people in the lifestyle. But you'll usually communicate through emails, get to know each other a little bit that way, exchange pictures to make sure there's the initial attraction. And we'll typically meet at a restaurant or bar and just have a nice dinner, get to know them, get to talk, find out what they're interested in, what their wants are, and then kind of go from there. So, and typically for us, we'll meet a couple, have dinner, have drinks, and then, we won't play that night. We'll arrange another time to do that when we've all had time to discuss and debrief with our spouses.
So, are there signals under the table, or because the fact that you're not? Do you guys go in saying, you know what, we're not going to do anything tonight, so let's relax, get to know them, and then you communicate afterwards? Or has there ever been a time where, you know what, you've been so attracted, it's been obvious all the way around, and you've thrown your preconceived rules out the window, and then would there be some signals under the table?
Yeah, that's definitely, it's happened both ways for sure. And, it's typically, I'll give away my secrets here, we typically just will text each other. Oh, my kids are texting, I need to look. And, we'll be texting with one another, yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down, how do you feel, that kind of thing. So.
Now, I assume you don't want correct me if I'm wrong, you don't want your family to know about this lifestyle, hence the masks. So talk to me about the computer. We're in the internet age now. Do you leverage the computer to initially
Mm-hmm.
find couples?
Absolutely, that is one of the best ways and the easiest ways to do it, because then you can hit people from miles and miles away that you just wouldn't normally have the chance to find. So yeah, absolutely, the computer is key. I wouldn't know how to do it without the computer.
Really? Well, okay.
Yeah.
So I would think it would be a double-edged sword in that, okay, it's great because you can instantly, meet all these people from all these different areas. But what's the downside? Have there been any downside?
There can definitely be downsides in the sense that endless emails with people back and forth where nothing ever comes of it. And to be really, really careful about putting our pictures out there, because I know there are people out there who are just trying to collect pictures for either their own use or to distribute somewhere else. So yeah, there's that little bit of a risk of not protecting our own identity.
Oh, okay, great. I'm going to shift gears here a little bit, dig a little deeper. I want to find out how you got to be so open to the swing lifestyle in the first place. You said that you had been talking. You let Jeremy know that you're interested in other women. I'm going to go back before that, just to find out about you, and we'll talk to Jeremy shortly. Okay, how old were you when you first had sex?
I was 16.
Okay, so that's pretty normal. Describe it. Was there any guilt? Were you raised to feel, how were you raised vis-a-vis sex to feel about it?
My family actually just didn't talk about things of real importance. So it was never something that was really openly discussed. The brief conversations my mother and I ever had was that it was sweaty, gross, and disgusting. And that was pretty much the most my mother and I ever talked about it.
Really? Was there, just jump in here, was your family really religious?
We weren't. We were, I would say that we are just straight across the board. We're not extreme on either side. We're just kind of middle of the road. So, no, we weren't ultra religious. We weren't ultra open. It was just a very kind of, straight. Nothing up, nothing down. So, but no, so I was never really felt like it was a totally taboo thing. But like I said, we just didn't really discuss it. But the first time was, it was a guy I was dating, a few years older than me. It was awful, where you just lay there, you don't do anything. So no, it wasn't a great sexual experience by any means.
Really? And
no, I don't remember feeling guilty by any means, but I remember going, really? Is that it?
Is that all there is?
Yeah.
It got better after that at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, growing up, did you do anything sexually wild that proved to be a precursor to the lifestyle you're living now? Did you go outside the lines at all?
I don't really felt like I did. All the embarrassing, silly things. I'd steal my grandpa's Playboys and look at them. And that's definitely one of those key things, is when I was being younger, knowing that I was interested in women.
So your first sexual partner was at age 16, but is that the first time you had sex or an orgasm? Because you mentioned you
certainly didn't orgasm the first time.
you just mentioned that that you would look at your grandfather's Playboy. So was that at an earlier age than 16?
Yeah, that I guess would pledge myself. Yeah, it was earlier than that for sure.
And what age did that start?
I don't really remember what age. Probably just that when the puberty starts to hit.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you started off looking at Playboy. Well, that's interesting. Okay. So have you ever participated in an orgy prior to marrying Jeremy?
No, never. Prior to that, never before the lifestyle.
Okay. So you're living on the sexual edge now. How's that working out for your relationship? You mentioned that everything seems to be fine, that you're going to keep moving forward.
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, it's had its ups and downs. It's definitely, you absolutely have to have such open lines of communication with each other and be very honest with each other about how you feel. So it's, like I said, it's presented a few challenges, but nothing we can't overcome.
And for you guys, it beats going to the movies.
We like that too.
Okay. So now, how often do you guys swing? Would you say?
I don't know, because, you communicate with people, so that feels like sometimes it can be a real workout, I guess. So every day you might be on the computer emailing people, talking to people, but probably just, maybe a couple times a month do we actually meet couples or meet a single.
Oh, really? Okay. So 2 times a month. And
yeah.
So what percentage of your sex would you say involves other people, other couples?
maybe only 10 to 15, probably 10%.
Okay, so it's 90% monogamous, 10% where you.
Yeah, because that 10% that you do outside of our own bedroom, it can fuel the rest of, our, when you go back to your room, it can definitely be fuel.
Okay, great. Now, okay, so let's talk about jealousy. Are you or Jeremy ever jealous of each other? How do you guys handle that?
That's been one of the challenges that we've had to work on and overcome. Jeremy's much more open than I am, I think, where he has that. I don't know how to explain that one. I'll just talk about myself. I can let Jeremy describe that in his own words. But yeah, I've had a few jealousy issues when I feel like when a woman I feel like comes on too strong. Well, jealousy has definitely been a challenge. I think with any couple that you have to overcome. I'll let Jeremy answer that for himself in his own words. But as far as myself, I've definitely had experienced some jealousy over the last couple of years. It tends to happen, I guess, really when a woman comes on too strong to Jeremy, and I don't feel like she's given me the proper respect. Not that I feel like somebody has to, bow down to me by any means, but I feel like they should at least be polite to me and give me the respect to know that that is my husband that they are approaching.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah. So
Are most of the people pretty good, or how would you?
Yes, most everybody is really, really good about that because most everybody has a significant other as well. So they definitely try to be respectful of both partners' feelings.
Okay, great. Well, that you mentioned Jeremy, so let's bring him in really quick, and I'm going to ask him the same question I just asked you. Oh, he's right there. That's good. Okay, so Jeremy, well, same question for you. By the way, thank you. I didn't get a chance to thank you for doing this interview very much. How do you deal with jealousy? Do you feel jealous? How do you deal with jealousy? When does it come up? How do you work that out?
Jealousy definitely comes up. I mean, there's situations where situations that happen that make you feel jealous and uncomfortable, but we communicate about them, we work through them. We haven't really had that many situations like that. Typically, it's more Katie's issue than my own, but we definitely have had a few situations like that.
Okay, and okay. When I think of swinging, I think of generally married couples, and I think of they meet another couple and then they swap wives. That's just how I think of it. Is that does that describe most of it? I know there's a lot of variations.
No, I mean I don't think. I think swapping is a small percentage of the folks that actually are in the lifestyle. I think that most people start out with more of a girl-girl situation, maybe more of a soft, even same room sex. I think that the percentage of folks that actually swap is probably maybe 30%, 35%.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, and I asked this of Katie earlier. Do you expect to do this for the rest of your life? Do you agree with her that it's only helped your relationship, and the 10% that you have sex with other people, that it helps the other 90% of the time that you guys are just with each other?
Absolutely. The very first time we experienced anything, we were shocked at how we felt afterwards. So there was no jealousy or anger. We actually felt like we were closer to each other, and we had a bond. Our bond was even tighter because we could share and be open about sex in a way we had never been able to experience before. I don't expect that we'll do this for the rest of our lives. Obviously, that would be a little creepy to be in our 80s still doing this sort of thing. But I definitely think we'll continue to do this for a while until we feel like either it's not exciting and interesting anymore, or until we feel like maybe we're too old for it. But yeah.
So Katie had mentioned that she came to you originally and had expressed an interest in being with other women. What did you think about that? Did it excite you? Did you feel a little intimidated? Do you feel like I might lose her to a woman?
No, it was exciting. I think it's every guy's fantasy to see two women or be with two women at one time. So for me, it was super exciting. I was doing the happy dance, quite frankly, because who wouldn't want to experience that in their life?
Yeah, okay, great. I'm gonna bring. All right, let's bring Katie back in.
I don't feel so bad.
No, it's hard.
It is hard.
So Katie is back on. Okay, Katie, have you noticed any changes since you've been doing this? Been doing it for 2.5 years. Any changes from that time till now?
As far as our marriage, or personally, or
well, let's say with the people that you're meeting, have you noticed any changes in the community? The swing, what do you want? Swing lifestyle community. Any changes, or is it pretty much the same? You haven't been really doing it that long, I guess.
No, for me, it's pretty much the same, because you're right. We haven't been doing it that long, so I haven't seen any huge trends or anything like that.
Yeah, has it gotten bigger at all? Yeah. I was wondering if, because of the internet, everybody's on the internet. You had mentioned how it makes the search so much easier. Have you noticed a growth in the, participants?
I guess we've noticed certain people opening up to certain ideas more so. I know there's a couple books released in the last 6 months that have definitely opened some minds of a few people that we've met along the way to try new things. But no, as far as a trend, I haven't seen any real changes. But yeah, I'm just always surprised how many people are out there in the lifestyle.
Really? Okay. Ever meet any celebrities while swinging?
Not celebrities per se. We met a porn star once, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anybody we would know?
I won't disclose who it is.
Good. Okay. All right. So, let's say it's 20 years later, and you have your child is an adult now. Would you feel comfortable or happy if your child came to you and said, "Hey, I've got to tell you something. Me and my significant other are swingers, and it's not something we do all the time, but we do it occasionally." What would your reaction be? How would you feel about that?
Well, I probably wouldn't be overly shocked knowing who their parents are. We would just be supportive. We love our kids no matter what, and I think I would hope that we would be open-minded enough to give them guidance and just let them know that we're supportive of them.
Okay, great. So you wouldn't feel like, you wouldn't try to dissuade them from doing it?
Probably not, only because we have overall had a good experience with it. Had our experience has been different, I might be getting a different answer.
Okay. And then this is my last question. It has to do with swinging, which is, okay, I told you how I think of swinging, which is I think of two couples just basically swapping spouses.
Mm-hmm.
What's the experience? Have you guys done it only one way? Have you done it different ways? And if you've done it different ways, what's the most common way you do it? In other words, is it just you meeting another couple and you exchange spouses? Are you in the same room when you're having sex? Do you go in separate bedrooms?
Every scenario, we always say you can never script a scenario. You can never script it with a couple, because everyone's a little bit different. You get a different vibe, you get a different feel. Overall, swapping with the other partner is not our main goal. It may be some people's goals, but the majority of people we've met do not go in saying hard and fast, we are going to swap tonight, or full swap, I should say. We typically start out with girl-girl. Everybody gets a little comfortable that way. It seems to be an easier transition, and then the guys will join in. 95% of the time, we don't actually swap with the other partner. We stick with our own spouses. There's, can be a lot of cross-touching, a lot of cross-playing. And I want to say that's the majority of it, because the majority of women are out there are bi. It seems to be the minority of women that meet and say, I am just straight. They're definitely not as common. So
interesting. And now, what is as far as the separate rooms? Have you done that?
One time, wasn't the best experience, obviously, or honestly. Didn't overly enjoy it. You feel like you become disconnected from your partner, from your spouse, and I don't like that. I didn't enjoy it. So no, we'll definitely stay in the same room. Even one time we had the lights go out when we were all still four in the same room, and that, again, just put such a disconnect between us that it just didn't make it as fun. So it's definitely more enjoyable to see your partner, keep the lights on, and keep that connection.
Okay, great. Okay, now we've got some non-swinger questions to close this interview out. Here's a religious question. Do you believe in God? Do you have a religion?
Don't really have a religion. I don't believe in God. I believe there's probably something out there, but not necessarily God in the Christian sense of it, though.
Okay. Now, we've got a presidential election coming up.
We do.
Who are you going to vote for?
Actually, I'm going to go for Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney. And if you can get your husband, Jeremy, to pop his head in really quick, who's Jeremy, who are you going to vote for?
I'm also going to vote for Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney. Okay, fantastic. So you've got 2 Southern California Mitt Romney votes.
Yep.
And last question for you. What's your biggest concern in the world or in our country today? And we'll get a quick answer from both of you.
I'm not a very political person, to be real honest. So, I probably just the state of the economy and keeping the jobs for people and making sure that we're going in the right direction for this country.
Amen to that, Jeremy.
The biggest problem in the world today, was that the question?
Or this country.
Or this country. Right now, I definitely would agree with her on the economy. We definitely need to get the economy back on track and get more jobs out there and get everybody working again. And so I would say the economy as well.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Katie, Jeremy, thank you so much. You've been very gracious to agree to do this interview and take your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.